when you have an aneurysm, the high chances is that it can come back in 5 years. So they usually say 5 years your core time that you can have a quality life here, because after that, if it rupture again, it's a stroke and then you can't really do anything. So I got 5 years in my time, and I realized that self-love is the core. That's where I started to work on it.
Welcome to episode number 52 of the 100 Successful Women, a Conversation to Inspire series. I know that it has been a bit slow in updating the series, but I can assure you that there will be a lot more inspiring women joining us in our upcoming episode, and that will bring us more inspiring stories. Slowly, but I will definitely keep going. Today in episode number 52, I'm so grateful to have Bismi Palatty from Melbourne joining us, sharing her inspiring stories. To be honest, I was in awe with her stories. Knowing her resilience in overcoming her challenges reminded me that life should be with purpose. Bismi said that everyone have a story to tell, but she had more than one powerful stories which she has shared with us, and all of them are such powerful ones. From her journey from India to Australia, from her pregnancy to her sentence to 5 years of life, it's all big hurdles for her to jump. I believe you'll be amazed by her life roller coaster as well. So without further ado, let's all dive into all these stories coming up next. Afternoon, Bismi, how are you doing?
Thank you. Good afternoon, Viv. I am very well. I'm so excited to be part of this conversation. Thank you for, giving me an opportunity to share all the things that I'm doing from Melbourne.
Thank you so much to you, Bismi, for tuning in from Melbourne, like what she was saying. And I really admire what Bismi is doing. She do a lot of great thing in a lot of different areas. So some of you might have already know from the introduction that I did. Bismi is a radio host, she's a speaker, and she is someone who is in technology as well. So she plays different hats. And she's a mom of 3 boys. Before we go any further on that one question that I always ask our 100 Successful Women guests is that despite all the hats that you're wearing, all the roles that you're playing, Bismi, who is really Bismi Palatty? Hopefully I got your last name right.
Thank you. Wow, that's a good question, because who am I? So I would say everything happened only because of motherhood. So I am a mother of I would say 4 kids. Unfortunately, I lost one of my triplets, but still she is close to my heart. So I'm a mother, a proud mother of 4 kids, Joel, Julian, and Jace, and I named my girl Joy. So that's the triple J plus joy. So it's a triple joy for me in my life. So I consider myself as a mother looking after the boys to become gentlemen, so that they will be raising 3 families, or the families around them, so that I can see that my core values of love, joy, and peace are spreading through generations. So that's Bismi Palatty. But again, the proud moment of myself, if I say, I always connect with my God. So that connection to God is always my identity, because I truly believe that He got a purpose on me, and I am just a handmaid, or like an instrument for my Creator to do whatever I'm doing. That's what I'm truly believing, and that's what I always share with my kids, because you're here with a purpose. You're just an instrument. So that's my short but with long description about Bismi Palatty. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. And I love that you are mentioning that, yes, you are a mom, but then you're also on the purpose. You know your purpose because of the higher power, or our God. You know what's your purpose that He has given you. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. I know that you also currently, as a radio host, as a speaker, some of the things that you're advocating is empowering women to build resilience especially. Can you maybe share a little bit about your own journey or the challenges you faced along the way that led you to become so passionate in this area?
Of course, yeah. Everyone got a story, right, Viv? Yes. My story is also may not be different to many Asian girls. Born in India, I was beautifully living a life of a daughter. So my parents were teachers and they had a dream to be, take me or change me or bring me as a teacher. So I was living a wonderful life, but it was not my dream. It was their dream. So I was living their dream. As a normal Asian, what's the next dream? To, give your daughter to a wonderful husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was also very fortunate with my loving parents. I got married to a handsome guy, a great opportunity to live a great life. And I was living that life. But that was also my husband's dream. So he moved to Australia from India in 2000. We were living our life, and we know that financial matters will come up. But being an Asian, we have another responsibility to raise your family, and always especially in my town, they will always ask, if you got married, the first question, are you pregnant? Or how many months? All those questions. So I had to hear lots of questions from maybe in a second month onwards, and it's not uncommon. That's what everyone asks. But unfortunately, I couldn't conceive, and that was a journey for me, because I personally didn't experience, or I was not eagerly waiting to be a mother. To me, it's after marriage, I was excited about honeymoons. So because that's what we always see in every other fantasy world. So after my marriage, I asked my husband, where's our honeymoon? And he said, oh, we are. So at that time he was working in Dubai, so he said, oh, okay, our honeymoon is in Dubai. And I was excited. So it's in Dubai. But when we reached in Dubai, he already changed the plans to move to Australia. So he said, okay, our honeymoon is in Australia. And then we moved to here. And then Australia is like a dream for many people, and that's your honeymoon. But we didn't have a honeymoon trip at all in my life. So I'm not sure what is exactly that experience. But what happened, the days are moving, the months were moving, I couldn't become a mother. And the shame, the guilt, and all those social status issues actually triggered me a lot, and gone into my heart a lot, because the shame is actually going to husband first of all. It's everyone is saying that it's because he can't become a father. And the other thing is a big trauma that we usually believe as a believer in God is, if you are not becoming a mother, that is a curse from God, or that is a penalty of your adulterous life or an illegal relationship, or because you were not virgin before marriage. So these are the reasoning for becoming a barren or becoming not having a mother. Even you are planning that family for a bit longer later. That's the common belief of the society. And then interestingly, everyone you love will ask about your well-being from the first question. When is your first baby coming? So that's a normal question. So that triggered me internally a lot. But in our case, because we came to Australia at that time, I didn't have any degrees, because my parents' dream was to become a teacher. So I got a teacher's degree and a mathematics degree, which is really good for India, because we will get anywhere you can become a teacher. But in Australia at that time, it was not enough for me to start a job. So what we decided, it's again, when I think back, that was not my dream. That was someone's dream. that you need to go back to India and get a master's degree in computer science. And at that time, I didn't have any other dream for me, because to me, as my dream is my husband's dream. So we were doing that. So I went back to India to do my master's. So 3 years, I usually come every 6 months here when I have my breaks and then go back. So that's 3 years. Really, I was working for motherhood to become pregnant. But at the same time, our relationship was really going down. We were having all different conflict, doubts, and different priorities. I was prioritizing studies and at the same time, financial crisis, everything. But when I came back here with my master's, it was hard to find out a job, because in 2000, even though I did my master's in English, I couldn't talk in English. I couldn't understand all this Aussie accent. So I still do remember when I take a call for an interview, I didn't understand what they were talking. And I was like, this 3 years is lost. I can't really do anything. And I really acknowledge my brother-in-law who was here in IT. He said, you should call and talk in English, then only you will get your job. It is not like you don't know, but you need to practice. And then he gave me a tip. You need to listen to radio news and radio conversations. That will help you to understand the accent, the preposition, the way that they're posing. That helped me a lot. I really usually used to get angry with him, because he's in IT, he can't give me a job, and then he's giving me this big advice. But that helped me a lot. So
is that why you get into radio as well?
Yeah, I started to listen to radios and got interviews and slowly gone into the IT world. So I started as a developer, and then now I'm actually managing a team for data and analytics team for a hospital in Melbourne. So I was like going into that path. But when I go back to my motherhood, it's been 9 years. I was doing all these treatments, and every time the treatment result was negative. And then my liver was inflamed. I was getting obese and all these issues. And again, obviously, mental health and our relationship was not going in good way, because it's a mechanical life. It's not love making. It's like making a baby. It's different. So after 9 years of treatment, doctor mentioned it's better you stop treatment, because I don't think that you will be getting any positive result. But I still believe that as a God's intervention.
You were mentioning God intervention before.
I was sharing the story of my long treatment journey, and then science actually failed, and then doctor mentioned I should stop the treatment. But that's where I got this miraculous intervention from God, and my pregnancy test was positive. And then after 3 months only, my doctor believed that it's the pregnancy. Otherwise, he was always worried it's something gone, because he can't really identify the science behind it. But I still believe, and I usually tell my son, you are a miracle showing that I'm a mother, because I have to do many different things or prove different things within me. Even though, like everyone, I truly believe I'm not a perfect person. I'm not the person with no issues or no vulnerabilities, but God is showing that compassion and mercy that you can be a mother. So I truly believe that motherhood has actually moved me a lot. But having said that, getting my first baby, I didn't enjoy the motherhood. I was taking that as a revenge. Look at my husband. Look, I got a baby. That's what you asked. So now I tick the box to become the mother. So to be honest, I didn't do much with my boy at that time. I was giving everything to my husband. So he was looking after him for a long time. But when I realized that I'm actually like a feeding mom, like I'm breastfeeding him and doing my job, because I gone back to work after 3 months. So I was concentrating on my career that time. But when my son asked me, Mom, I need a baby brother or a baby girl. So he was always going for baby sister. That's where I got a real call, like I need to be a mother and then be with them and then enjoy that motherhood. So I know that which treatments are work now. So I started my treatment again. And unfortunately, at that time, I didn't really understand that it was not a real dream of my husband. It was my own dream. So I started that dream. It took me 6 years of another cycle and cycle. And then, if you are not doing or having your own dream, you may not get that partnership. So it took us a while to get baby, but I was really crazy that I need to do it because my son asked and I need to become a mother. And after 6 years, it's not 6 months, 6 years, I got good news. I got 3 eggs in myself, and then you can become a mom of triplets. And I was so excited. And I got my pregnancy with the triplets. So I was over the moon. I was feeling so happy that yes, I didn't even dream of 3. So it was very clear that 2 big embryos and 1 small one. And then they were saying the small one was maybe a girl, the other 2 may be boys. And my boy was also happy because he got a sister and brothers. But unfortunately, during the pregnancy, I lost my girl. And that was my awakening point. I still do remember the pain I was having mentally while I was on that hospital bed, hearing that my baby is gone. So I think that's the point of the pain and that core connection to my motherhood. From there, it was a journey because I want to save my other twins. My cervix was open, so I can't walk. So I need to be on bed to save them because it was really premature. And then I diagnosed one of my twins having Down syndrome, and they were pushing me to abort him because it's always hard to go through that one, and it's our call. But I was like, there was no thoughts and there was no discussion with my husband. I mentioned, no, I'm not going to, because I know the sufferings that I gone to become a mother. So if God is giving me that soul to me, there is a purpose. So I was happily welcoming my Down syndrome baby and the other baby. So I think at 12 weeks I was on bed, and 32 weeks they mentioned it's ready. You can move around and then you can save your baby now onwards. So that I started to walk. I came back to back home, but having different things and in that unhealthy relationship, I had to rush to the hospital because my placenta got infected, all different things. So I had an emergency surgery around 32 weeks. But I got my beautiful boy 7 weeks premature. So that's where I really enjoyed the motherhood, that tiny baby in my hands and the putting into my chest. I still feel the warmth of that motherhood. That's where my journey started. That's where on the bed where I was alone that whole week, I was going through myself and then thinking about all the different things, all things I was going through. But I couldn't do much externally, but I had a strong decision that I will be looking after these boys, as I will be their mother and I will be showing that love to them. That's my story of motherhood. And then, but the story is like, my parents were here to look after my son because my husband was doing night shifts. So 7-year-old was with my parents. But my mom had different issues of the stress that she was going through with us. And then she lost her eyesight and she was having eye issues. And I had to push her back to India because she was under the threat of stroke. So when she reached India, she had a stroke, she paralyzed, and all those stories. So I couldn't even go to look after her. Those stories, it started. So I gone back to my work after 3 months because finance was a real big issue between our relationship. So I was full time at the hospital at that time. So I was doing 9 to 5, not 5, more than that. And all these issues are happening. But unfortunately, I couldn't do much to save the marriage because I was giving priority to my children, because there was a incident came up that I have to do something for my children, otherwise the children will go to the foster care. So that was a legal obligation that I had to do. So there was only one option, that to run out of the house with my kids to save the foster care for them, because I don't want them to go to the foster care, because I know the pain and that I gone through to get the babies, and everyone got that real connection with the mother. But to me, my core value was that if you are a mother, you could feel the real pain of your mother, what she did for us, and the pain of all other people that they're doing to do the survival or those bits and pieces. So that journey, being a single mom with 3 kids, is my transformation, because my boy was not having Down syndrome, praise God, because he didn't do that, or he healed it. I don't know what happened there, but he is a healthy boy, beautiful, all the time smiling. But my other twin was having all the trouble because his placenta was infected. He was on CPAP and all. But eventually I identified that my twin, who diagnosed with Down syndrome, is having cerebral palsy. So he was having some brain injuries, and then his right side was not moving properly. So he couldn't crawl, he couldn't do anything on his right side. So that journey was more into the in and out of hospital for him, and in and out of hospital for the other twin with anaphylactics and allergies, asthma, all those things. Like, only one family who were our family friends were helping me for everything. So I'm so grateful for them. They totally stopped their whole life other than me. So they picked me as their own daughter. Even though she is younger than me, she picked up as her responsibility to look after me and my family. I still do remember when I will be in the hospital with the one twin, they look after my other 2 kids. And when I was in the hospital, they looked after 3 boys together. All those. So I really grateful to them for my toughest time, that no one knew. They were the only people that now are with me. So I was going through that journey and looking a full-time person, running my radio show and looking after my kids. That's where, even though I know that's all my responsibility and all the legal implications going into the court and getting this intervention order, all those bits and pieces, and the community was totally excluded me, because it's a big thing that to leave a husband and leave alone with the kids. It's like a disgrace to the community. So I can't really blame them, because that's the status quo or the cultural norm. So I didn't share with anybody. I was showing my same face, but no one was there, or I didn't approach to anybody. Maybe that may be the right way to share, mention. But this family was my core all the time. But that journey started with bit more empowering, started our normal life with hospital visits. My boy is getting teenager, but that's where I got up with another story that while I was working, my face was shivering and my colleague was telling you something wrong with your face. Your face is going into different mode, and I didn't know that. That's what I was. That's where I rushed to the ED because I work in the hospital. They took me to ED, and they found I'm having high blood pressure, and then they did the CT and everything. They identified I have a cerebral aneurysm in the brain. And it was almost going to pop up. The medical term, if it is 7+ size, it can pop up and make trouble, internal bleeding, and even stroke. So I had to do it. And the spot of my aneurysm, they can't really do the open surgery because of it's over somewhere here. And I was going to do the surgery that time. I got a call from my dad that he's having severe tummy pain, and then they found a tumor in the tummy. So I connected because he's my hero. He's always my strength. So when I heard that he's going to surgery, I felt like I'm going to surgery. I can't see him anymore because I know that my surgery is really complicated and I don't want to tell him. But the connection over there, I wanted to see my dad that time. So my 3 boys were with me, but my friends, they helped me to put it into my family care. So she did the full-time care that time. And I went to see my dad just for 4 days. So he did the surgery. I was in the hospital. He recovered, and I was like literally taking the blessing from him because I didn't tell anybody that I'm having this issue. And I was saying bye to my mom because I know that I can't survive because the rate of recovery of this surgery is very, very rare. So I said bye to my dad, and I even took a video to bless my kids. And I came over, but when I landed my flight here, I got a news that my dad got sepsis. So he had to go for another surgery. And over that phone, in a couple of hours, my dad actually gone. So that shook me a lot because I know that I am going to, my purpose here is going to finish. I never thought that God took me for the purpose. Or maybe my dad's purpose is finished and then he gave me his life to me. So it was more of like awakening over it's an amazing thing happened. You know, my core connection to my dad is lost. What's happening? But so I had to postpone my surgery because I was not ready for that. But after the 41st day of my dad's death, I had my surgery. So that was in the month of May. I had a surgery.
So was the surgery able to be like postponed for you?
Yeah, it's because I need to put my will because that time there was no people here to look after my under 18 kids. I need to put my will over there, and there was no one. So I had to put my motherhood to this the family that was helping me at that time, because my brothers were not Australian citizens, so they can't really legally give Australian citizens to them. So, but anyway, I did the will. I gave my motherhood to them, and I was ready for the surgery. So I did my surgery, and miraculously I came out of surgery so quickly. It was a bit complicated surgery, but it was good. I returned to work in 4 weeks time, which is still my doctors saying that it is a miracle. But to me, I feel like I can't really be sitting at home. But if I'm working in the hospital, whatever happens, they will look after. That was the reason. But that surgery, or the experience on me, helped me to realize the power of self-love and self-care, because I was running all those years to help other people, help my kids, or living other people's dream. That one took me a pause. When you have an aneurysm, the high chances is that it can come back in 5 years. So they usually say 5 years your core time that you can have a quality life here, because after that, if it rupture again, it's a stroke, and then you can't really do anything. So I got 5 years in my time, and I realized that self-love is the core. That's where I started to work on it. So I started to really gone deep into spirituality, gone into forgiveness, understand what are the real barriers or limiting beliefs, what are the issues that I think that that's not an issue for me, why I am not crying, why I'm always a people pleaser, why I'm not saying no. All those questions came up, and slowly, layer by layer, I was like cleaning and clearing those ones. During that journey, some people got hurt, some people got isolated, or I have to say no to different people which were so close. But I think that's the journey, because if you are vulnerable, you will be connected to unhealthy people or unhealthy situations and unhealthy patterns. But when you realize that, you should have that confidence to have your voice up, speak up for yourself. That will hurt many people in your circle. Sometimes your community will change. Sometimes your collaboration will change. And always your communication style will change. So if you are in your old self or a different self and coming to your core self, people will think that you are a foreigner. You don't understand me. I don't know you because you were not the Bismi that I know. So I experienced that a lot. That still hurt me a lot. I had to lose my core family who helping me during my tough time, and core connections. But I believe it's happening for a reason. This transformation is happening in myself. But at the workplace, at that time, I was doing my job, but I was not having any connections with my job. I was thinking, okay, that's an income generator. I'll go and do my work and I'll get my job. But once I identified that self-discovery, I was also connected to work more and more. I could see that that's not foreign, because I was surrounded with all these Australian nationalities, and I was thinking, because I'm from migrant, they're not connecting with me. Because of that, my color, they are not connecting with me. But then I realized it's me. I am just thinking that they are not accepting me. And sometimes they will be using all these Aussie idioms and AFL and all those tipping, horse racing, which is all foreign to me. And I never put effort to understand that one. So that's where I started to connect more into Australian culture, finding out what it is, trying to understand the meaning of all this accent and idioms. So now I could connect more to them. I could talk to them about anything. I can open up that, okay, I can't really do this because this is my belief. I can't really agree with this point because I believe in inclusion, or I need this to be done because that's the diversity. So I can put up my points up in the workplace as well. So what I found is that I didn't do much for the work, but I was evolving within myself, which helped me to attract different things in the workplace. So I was like an IT technical person. Within that 10, 11 years, now I'm actually helping my team of 3 different teams for the organization, and then helping for cultural diversity, peer support, inclusion, mental health, and at the same time in the data and analytics area. So I look after the warehousing and business intelligence side of it. That was my professional side. But having said that, my acknowledgement and my satisfaction, it's more that the connection that I have done in the community, because the radio show which I started is called Dominus Missi. That's a mix of Latin and Aramaic. The meaning is by the label of God, or in the name of God. So what I'm doing is all the things only to glorify Him, because He gave this 5 years to spread that love, joy, and peace. So now I am on my 9th year. I'm still here. So that means God has a purpose on me. And I believe because my voice is His purpose. The reason is that when they identified the aneurysm, they identified a tumor in the brain as well, which was connected to my speaking skill. And then they told me, when you do the radiation, you may stop speaking. So you need to type or do some sign languages. So that moment is where I started to think, before the surgery, I need to put my voice somewhere, because if I lose my sound, I need to hear it. So that's where I was like eagerly doing something. But after the surgery, I think it was speaking English better than that. That's what I feel, because it's more of that confidence and then connection. So I still believe that's the blessing from God, to have that voice to speak up and be an advocate for that family violence. And the awareness of family violence is what we needed, because we didn't know that these things, not having a bank account, not giving anything as a freedom to move around, this is all part of the signs of violence. We didn't know that, because for generations we were having this and our parents were doing this, and it's a normal to us, but we didn't know these are the signs we should be speak up. So I'm a real advocate to educate people what is your human right as a person. It's a male or female, it doesn't matter. You are a human, you have some rights. So if in both sides, it's family violence is not just for females. So both parties are victims and perpetrators. So you need to educate them. This is the respectful way of doing things and engaging in a relationship. Whether it's a highly intimate or not, you should have that respect, how to do that. So that's where I evolved, connecting with my council and people like you, Viv, through the different platforms, and becoming an advocate of self-love and the family violence awareness. So that's still evolving, going through the different areas. I'm using my platform to bring the people who are really doing great things, and always go with the family violence, helping many different people. They are going through that situation. So I need to empower them. If they are going to the legal issues, I help them to get their affidavit or legal documents, speak with them, because sometimes only thing that you need to do is to have that listening ears, because they want to share, they want to be heard. And sometimes many of those incidents have similar patterns, so that we can mention, yes, if you think that's love, it's not love, it's love-coated violence, or it's a pattern that you need to break, or a pattern that you need to speak up. So those are the small things that I am doing from our area in our community to give the awareness. Only thing is that every human in this world have the right to be loved, to have a peaceful life, to enjoy that joyful. So if you are breaking that through your actions and through your relationship or through your engagement, you should stop it, because you are hurting them a lot. They may not be telling that because they love you so much, but it is a hurt and they don't deserve it. So that's the small message, but a powerful one, that we need to share throughout the community, and especially for the younger generation. So that's why I actually started to empower the people through children. So from age of 8 to 18, that's my kids' age. I'm trying to help them to be the public speakers through the program for public speaking. Because if you are a public speaker, or if you trained to be a public speaker, you will speak up for your mom, you will speak up for your dad or your brother or your sister. So that's what I am trying to achieve through the partnership of my boys. It's like they should feel why your mom is doing is to speak up for you or your partner or your brother or sister. So that's my vision, to empower through the people from 8 to 18. I'm doing that through communities and schools soon as well. But at the moment, it's happening through one-on-one connections and sessions that I'm running.
Wow.
It's a long story. Like it's
It is a long journey. What
Yeah.
a journey you have, Bismi. It was like a lot of, wow, that's throughout your journey, a lot of things happen as maybe the way, the time that you share with me, probably 20-30 minutes, but it's actually many years. And within that many years, so many things have happened in your life. And I can see why you are so passionate about resilient, because you yourself have to be resilient in order for you to go through or push through the challenges that you have. You're such an amazing mom, and then it's like you took a lot of courage and a lot of resilience for you. I think the other thing that you mentioned is so powerful as well, because you have that strong belief in God's purpose, and you know that whatever that happened in your life is with a purpose. And then you also like have a near-death experience as well. You literally gone through that. Wow, it's powerful. I didn't know so many things of that you've been through. And thank you so much for sharing that, Bismi. You are such a strong woman.
Thank you. Yeah, and then we need strong women, because woman is actually making next generation. So you need to be connected to your core. That's how I say, what is your core? What is your core values? What is your core food? What is your core rituals? And if you connect with that, you will become authentic. You will understand what is my real purpose, because we always living other people's dreams or other people an understanding, but you should have your own one, and it can be connected to your own traditions or maybe a new idea that you got, but you should have that real your vision. This is what my call, this is what my connection. So then only you can be really authentic, and then otherwise you feel tired after some time. You feel like I'm doing it for someone, or I'm not getting what I want to. But if it is really from your heart, from your core, it will flow, and it will spread that love, joy, and peace to everyone.
Wow.
And I should acknowledge Viv, because you're doing the same thing. So you are bringing these powerful women because of your story. You are the lioness. Look at that. You are the lioness. I love that, the way you always put up there that you are the lioness. And we need people like that, because it's a community that we empowering each other, and it's not stopping now. The journey is continuing. The patterns are continuing. So we need these communities everywhere, like a little candles, and together those candles, we bringing up that great light. That's where we can become a great country, or like in the whole world, with love, joy, and peace.
Yeah, I love that. Love, joy, and peace. The one behind you, I see that. Love, joy, and peace. Such a beautiful word. And I think that is such a great vision to have, when with these three words, everyone remember these three words, the world will be such a better place to be, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, everyone just need that love. That's all people going for. Some people find it out through money, some people with some entertainment, someone through relationships, someone through like their work. But end of the day, it's that what they want, just the love. Yeah, everyone craving for that.
Yeah, so true. Wow, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us, Bismi. That is so much, and your life has been a roller coaster, but I'm so glad that you are here with us, sharing your story, and you bringing up such three beautiful boys as well. Thank you so much for empowering and also advocating to help these boys. And yeah, so I know that you are based in Melbourne. So where can people find you online, Bismi?
Yes, so many different ways. Like my radio shows are going live online. It's called Win FM, WYN FM. That's streaming online live, and podcasts are available through the site. I do have my website, which is @dominusmissy.org. That's where I put bit of like a stories, and it's updating soon with all these new initiatives happening. And I have a series happening that's actually going through my YouTube channel. That's also on my name, Bismi Palatty. So yeah, all the socials in LinkedIn and other areas, you can text me or call or email wherever the area, which way is better for you. I'm happy to help in any way. So that's me. It's more of like sharing my time to spread the love, joy, and peace around.
Yeah, I'm going to include all the link that Bismi was sharing just now as well. If you want to reach out to Bismi, I think she's more than happy to share with you her tips and some of the stories that she can help you to empower, especially for your children, because she is raising 3 boys, and then sometimes boys have their own challenge as well. And I think Bismi can give you a lot of advice in that area.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Bismi. So one last thing that I would like to ask you, if you have to give one piece of advice to other women out there, what would that be?
Yes, that's my tagline. You connect to your core. So because that's where the change happens, because always, especially women, forget about their own purpose. So if you go through like your own time with a normal, regular time slot in your life, and then connect with your creator, because you have that higher power than you, because you are not a creator, you are a creation. So you need to connect with that creator and then check with them, or that power I call my God. What is your purpose on me? And if you can connect that daily, because the purpose got different areas, different steps, different layers. So daily it has different actions to be done. So if you have that clarity in your purpose, you will get that clarity in the actions that you are doing. If you do those two things, that will attract the clear people and community towards you. That's where the purpose will fulfill. That's what I want to tell all the women. If you want to be happy, if you want to share your love and peace, only thing that you need to do, connect to your core.
Connect to your core and know your purpose. I love that. Yeah, it's such a great reminder to tap into our core every single day. Just that one question, and then know your purpose is such a powerful, and I think people tend to forget about that. And thank you so much for reminding us that, Bismi.
Thank you. Thank you, Viv, for having me. And you're doing what you're doing, inspiring many people and connecting to other people. Like, I'm so glad that we are connected, and then we are partnering for this advocacy in family violence, and then doing good things in different communities. So thank you for having me. And out there, all the women who is supporting Viv, it's a huge applause to you, because you are with the Linus. You are doing amazing job being around her, because I truly believe if you are with the positive people, you are grabbing their energy. That's why always better to be with the people like you, Viv. So thank you, and all the very best for doing all the good things in your area.
Thank you so much, Bismi. I love your energy and love what you're doing as well. Amazing. And yep, we are looking to connect with you again in the future and then to impact more people out there. Thank you so much for being with us today, Bismi.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.